joining us now, we have the number 5 seed on the women's side, Chico State. With us, we have head coach Brian Fogel. Coach, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, part of the reason to do these is just to hear a little bit inside about the team, something maybe that doesn't always show up in the stats. So just talk to me a little bit about the Wildcat season this year and how it went for you.
Well, I think we started the season. We had 8 returners. So when we came off the season before us, having advanced to the CCAA tournament, won in the first round, lost some key players, had some nice new additions to our squad with Brandy Huff-Hines and Zane Duckett. Did a really nice job. And then we have 2 freshmen, Sophia Williams and Gianna Criswell, that are getting better each and every day. Came in and made a nice connection with the returning players that we had in Miley Martinez and Bailey Jones and Jordan Morris and Haley Eisen. And so kind of grew as we went a little bit, growing pains and everything like that. But could see that the team was going to gel. Worked really hard day in and day out in practice, and put together a nice little stretch where I think we were able to win 6 or 7 games in the conference in a row, and then just finished up down in Southern California. Came up short against San Bernardino and Topona, and just excited to be back in the tournament here in Turlock starting Thursday.
Yeah, thank you. That's some great information. You talked a lot about kind of having to put together so many new players, having to kind of gel a new team together this year. But I look at the stats. I got to talk about that a little bit. You guys are top 4 in offense and defense. Just tell me, how do you think you guys did come together, and what kind of fuels you to be good on both sides of the ball out there?
Well, I would like to think that we try to preach consistency and being and consistency, and on the defensive end, to be able to communicate and talk, and how important it is. Everybody has a job, everybody has a role, and the importance of being able to do all of that stuff. And offensively, I feel like it took us a little bit of time to gel with one another. We have our 2 guards in the backcourt are newcomers for us, and to be able to gel with the other players took a little bit of time. But once we established that and figured out what maybe is a good shot and what isn't such a good shot, has kind of helped us, and became a little bit more consistent in that. So, but for us, I think the biggest thing is just consistency day in and day out, and how important it is to understand your role and do what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it.
Well, your point guard does have a little experience in that role last year. I got to just say a little bit. Zane Duckett was the conference tournament MVP. She was playing over at Cal State East Bay. But on that note, with your team, you guys were in the tournament last year. Let's be honest, I know the new rankings haven't come out or anything, but you guys were number 9 in the last rankings. The CCAA was loaded with 5 teams in the top 10 out there. But so thinking that in mind, both for the CCAA tournament and for possible regionals, what opportunities does this next week present to you guys? And, how do you guys have to take advantage of what's on your plate?
Well, we definitely need to play better than what we've been playing, this past weekend. And so, but for us, it's an opportunity to be able to, we're going to play a really good Cal Poly Pomona team that just beat us the other day down at their place. And so, as far as the regional picture and everything goes, it's out of our hands. I mean, we have to play well. We have to be able to win a couple of games, maybe all 3 games. I don't know exactly what it is, but I know that the thing that we can control is going to be our effort, and if we're ready to play or not on Thursday. I try not to look at the big picture and all that kind of stuff, because again, it's things that are out of our control, and we need to be able to put our best foot forward in order for us to be able to be successful against a well-coached Bronco team that we're going to play on Thursday.
No, thank you very much for that inside information on that one. So if I had to ask you, you talked about communication and the other stuff that you need to be better on, the things you guys want to get better on. If I actually had to ask you, what is something you guys do really well that doesn't show up in the box score, what would that be?
What do we do really well? Well, I mean, I think we shoot free throws well, but that shows up in the box score. But I think that overall we're a pretty good free throw shooting team. Yeah, I don't know what we do well that doesn't show up in a box score. I just know that this team is very dedicated and they want to be successful. There's a good harmony on our team right now. We play for one another, and I think that's really, really important, especially this late in the season. If you're going to continue to play in the postseason, understanding that we have 4 seniors that are not going to have the opportunity to come back and play next year, and we value what they have contributed to our program and want to send them out with the best foot moving forward. I think that's really, really important for us.
Let's still be honest. Cal State Dominguez Hills has only 1 loss this whole season. You guys were the ones to send it to them. That's a good team. Does that give you guys, do you guys talk about that one, give you any extra confidence going in? You guys can beat anybody in this upcoming tournament?
We got to beat Cal Poly Pomona. We can't really be worried about Dominguez Hills.
I was just saying the confidence of beating anybody.
Yeah, it definitely gave the kids confidence, and because they're a very well coached team, and Coach Bonner does a great job in preparing his team and has a nice team down there. But I think that game did give us some confidence and pulled us tighter together. But right now we're really just focused on trying to beat Cal Poly Pomona so that we would have an opportunity to be able to play the Toros on Friday. We worry about the Toros. We'll worry about the Toros but heck, we got the late game. What are we, 8:30? That's what, 11:30 East Coast time? I mean, oh my goodness.
8 o'clock. So save them half an hour.
Yeah. Well, do you really think we're going to be on time there? I mean, I don't doubt you, but
considering I've been through 14 of these things, and I'm sure you've been through 20 or something like it, I've never seen one late game start on time.
And that's why I said 8:30. And that's why I speak from experience. Not anything to do with your skill set and being able to keep these things on time, because as you know, once they start, it's completely out of your control and what's going to happen. So
only thing you know for sure is the first game of the day will be an overtime game. That's the only thing you know. And the rest of it is up in the air. So.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, thank you, Coach. As you mentioned right there, the Wildcats will have the opportunity to match up against Cal Poly Pomona Broncos in the 4-5 matchup on Thursday, March 2nd as Coach said, it'll probably be more about 8:30, but right now on the clock, it says 8 o'clock. So thank you, everyone, for just taking a couple minutes to listen to Inside About the Wildcats. And Coach, see you up in Turlock.
Thank you.